In this video, we'll finally be getting started with React Native navigation. And navigation is a very important aspect because we have so many components now and it's getting so cluttered to test them out. So we really need to jump into navigation in order to solve that and see all of the views at the same time. The library that we'll be using is React Navigation because it's the most popular library right now and mostly used for navigating between your screens. So let's get started by adding this library to our app. So in our app, there are two kinds of navigation that we need to deal with. The login screen navigation and the app screen navigation. The reason I'm saying this is because if we have all of the navigation in one stack, then the problem of that will be that after you enter your login details and log in into the app, and then you browse through the pages in your app, when you want to click back, it will take you to the login screen. We don't want that because once you're authenticated, you shouldn't be able to go back to the login screen unless you're logged out of the app. So what I meant by two different stacks is that when you have all the screens in one stack, you can go back between them or you can go navigate between them. But when we have two different stacks, it will have two different back and front functionalities. So if we included the login form in the same stack, then we could go back to it as given in the documentation. So to avoid that, what we can do is we can have two different stacks and we can combine them, export them using two different stacks. So let's jump into the code. The first thing we need to do is we need to create a file called navigation.js. And inside that, we'll have all the navigation related functionalities. So let's first import React. Let's import Stack Navigator from our React navigation library. Let's import all the components that we'll be navigating between. Cool. So now that we've done importing most of our components, let's write the code that we need for the stacks. So we'll have an auth stack and an app stack. In the auth stack, we will basically have the login screen, and to provide our component in it, we just use this syntax. And we'll also have a title option, the header title option. So remember we were facing some difficulties to change the header for each of the different screens. Well, now we don't even need to worry about the header component anymore. We can just use the React Navigation's header customization options. So the other one is app stack. Think of the stacks as a set of screens. And in app stack, we'll just have the IdeaPad list and IdeaPad form. So let's call this ideas. And the screen will be the same. And the navigation options again with the header title as your ideas. The other one is add ideas. So this will be the same, but with the component will be IdeaPad form. Options will have a header title of add your ideas. So these are the initial two stacks. Now, in order to combine these stacks and export them together, we need another component from our React Navigation library called Switch Navigator. So let's import that out. Switch Navigator. And inside the Switch Navigator, app stack will be app stack and auth will be for auth stack. And we can also define an initial route name. So for us, the initial route name will be auth because we need to first authenticate in order to see the other screens in our app. So I'm getting an error here. Right, so we have extra brackets over here. So let's get rid of that. Now we have two parameters in Switch Navigator. One is the object full of the stacks and the other is the initial route name. So let's import this out in our app.js. So the way we will import this is we'll call this app navigator. And instead of all of this, we will have the app navigator as our main stuff for basically rendering all our components. So let's just test this out and nothing should change. Cool. So this is the screen that is supposed to show if we're already logged in. Let's start removing the things that we don't need anymore. We don't need the header anymore. And in our login form, let's remove this conditional because now we're going to show it in the non-hacky way and the proper way. So let's remove this unnecessary imports before I forget. I've imported header still in the app.js, so let me remove that as well. Cool.